On the morning of March 28th at Quảng Đức Monastery in Ward 8, District 3, Hochiminh City, the Executive Council of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha solemnly opened the second plenary session of the 8th tenure for the period of 2017-2022. Stately attended the plenary session were Most Venerable Thích Giác Giới, Deputy Secretariat of the Patriot Council, Most Venerable Thích Như Niệm, Most Venerable Thích Giác Tường, co-member of the Standing Committee of the Patriot Council, Most Venerable Thích Thiện Nhân, Chairman of the Executive Council, Deputy Chairman, Sangha members of the Standing Committee, other Sangha members of the Executive Councils, and other Venerable and Sangha monks from all over the country. For the local authority, participated were Mr. Đỗ Văn Phượng, Director General cum Head of the South Representative Office of the Central Commission for Mass Mobilization, Central Committee of Vietnam Fatherland Front, Mr. Bùi Hữu Dụ, Director General of the Department of Buddhist Affairs, the Government Committee of Religious Affairs, Mrs. Nguyễn Lê Hà, Deputy Head of Division, Department of Social Security, Ministry of Public Defense, Mr. Nguyễn Ngọc Phong, Deputy Director of Mass Mobilization Commission of the Party Committee in Ho Chi Minh City, Mr. Lê Hoàng Vân, Deputy Director of Religious Affairs Committee of Ho Chi Minh City, Most Venerable Thích Thiện Nhân, Chairman of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha's Executive Council, hosted the plenary session and made the opening remarks. According to the agenda, the following issues shall be discussed at this plenary session. There will be a brief report of the Secretariat on Buddhist activities of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha during the first 3 months of 2018, a report on the implementation of the resolution of the 8th Vietnam Buddhist Congress, an introduction of the 6th Amendment of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha Charter, an introduction of personnel of the Patriot Council and its Standing Committee, Executive Council and its Standing Committee, a report on approval of members of Central Departments, Institute and Bhikkhuni Order, and other Vietnam Buddhist Sangha's documents. On behalf of Secretariat, Most Venerable Thích Huệ Thông, Deputy Secretariat cum Chief of Cabinet of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha's Standing Office in Ho Chi Minh City, adopted the agenda for the second plenary session of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha's 8th tenure. In order to implement the above resolution and approve personnel for Central Departments, Institute and Bhikkhuni Order of the Central Sangha monks and nuns, the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, with its high sense of responsibility and collective intelligence, welcomed all constructive opinions and comments from participants in their fields and provinces relevant to their responsibility, which will contribute to the successful implementation of the program of the 8th tenure assigned by the Congress. On behalf of the Secretariat of Executive Council, Most Venerable Thích Đức Thiện, Deputy Chairman cum General Secretary of the Executive Council, presented a brief report of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha's activities conducted in the first quarter of 2018. Accordingly, 2018 was considered as the first year to successfully implement the resolution and Buddhist operational directions adopted by the 8th Congress by all Sangha monks and nuns, Buddhist followers at all levels, Central Departments, Institute and Provincial Executive Committee of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha. Subsequently, Sangha members of the Executive Council adopted a number of articles in the Charter agreed by the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha. At the plenary session, Mr. Bùi Hữu Dụ, Director General of the Department of Buddhist Affairs, the Government Committee of Religious Affairs, raised some issues related to the law on religion and folk belief promulgated by the Government Committee of Religious Affairs. Later in the afternoon, the plenary session adopted the Buddhist press release and other Vietnam Buddhist Sangha's document, listened to some more opinions from the participants. Finally, Most Venerable Chairman of the Executive Council made the closing remarks. On this occasion, the information and communication channel named Phật Sự Online TV, Buddhist Online Television, was officially introduced. Most Venerable Chairman of the Executive Council awarded the decision on establishment of this channel. Phật Sự Online TV is a digital television channel broadcasting news on Buddhist activities of the central departments, institute, provincial executive committee throughout the country. This channel aims to bring the country's Buddhist news to both national and foreign societies. At the end of the plenary session, Most Venerable Thích Thiện Pháp, Deputy Chairman of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha's Executive Council, expressed sincere thanks to patriot elders, Sangha members of Executive Council, and from other provinces for their participation and constructive opinions at the plenary session. The second plenary session of the Executive Council had compiled and reached an agreement on opinions of Sangha monks and nuns, contributing to the successful implementation of the resolution of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha's 8th Congress and on the overall development of the country.